Yo, welcome. Days of Discipline. Um, Discipline Talks, whatever we're gonna call it, episode 1. Um, Look, I was supposed to go live, and I went on YouTube and they said that basically in 24 hours I'll be able to go live. So I'm gonna go live on this channel every day. Okay. Now, what is this about? Well, 5:00 p.m. today, I had a talk with God, the Most High Creator, Yahweh, you know, and I was supposed to start a fast like Tuesday, okay? And today is Thursday. And I messed up. It's not even a real reason why I messed up. I just messed up. Just gave in to the desires of my flesh. All right. Terrible. And look, I'm 305 pounds. I basically gained all the weight. Well, I didn't gain all the weight back, but you know, if you know anything about my story from this channel, back in July of last year, 2024, I broke my ankle. Okay, and it was the day of my birthday dinner, July 13th. Now my birthday is July 18th, so but I was going out to dinner with my wife on a Saturday, July 13th, and the day before, on the 12th, I weighed myself, and I was a whopping 323 pounds. Okay, horrible. That was the biggest I've ever been in my life, and I was depressed. I was depressed about it. The next day, like I said, it was Saturday the 13th. I went out to eat, and on my way out to eat, you know, I took some edibles. I took 2 edible gummies, okay? And I had taken one before, you know, like in the past. One. Didn't get high. And so I said, you know, this time I'm going to take 2. And it was really because I was just like, F it. I don't care. I just want to kind of be out of my mind a little bit and kind of just be a little carefree while I was feeling how I was feeling, you know. And here I am about to spend this money for my birthday dinner, the fattest I've ever been in my life, most out of shape I've been in my life, and I just wanted to kind of drown my sorrows like a dweeb, as my boy Cry would say. Shout out to Cry. Like a 99% dweeb. Well, I needless to say, 2 gummies was too much. And so, before leaving the restaurant, I somehow broke my ankle. Got rushed to the hospital. And was in the hospital for 3 days. And basically, that kind of kicked me off on a weight loss journey, inadvertently. I said, you know what? I'm in the hospital. I don't like hospital food. I'm just gonna do what I do, you know? I'm gonna do what I do, and hopefully, excuse the window. There's a bug in my car, but yeah, I'm gonna do what I do, and hopefully, things that I can keep the momentum going, basically. So, I pretty much dry fasted for 3 days, for 72 hours, right, while I was in the hospital. The only thing only time I ever had something to drink was a little bit of water when I had to take my medication. I think painkiller medication. So that was the only time. Other than that, I didn't have any water and I didn't eat. And so I lost a lot of weight, I could tell. I went home, in pain. This is before surgery. And I was doing like OMAD, but alternate day fasting. So I would do OMAD, I would eat one meal, and then I would basically fast for like 36 hours or longer, whatever. Like, so eat one meal, skip a whole day, and then eat the day after, So alternate day fasting, pretty much, on OMAD. And it was kind of a blessing because I wasn't able to, indulge in the things that I like to indulge in, eating donuts and, pastries and stuff like that. And I wasn't drinking coffee, because I couldn't move. I was in the bed, stuck in the bed, right? And when I went back the day of surgery, which was like 10 days later, 10 days from the time I got released from the hospital, I want to say, I was literally about 45 pounds down in like 2 weeks. I know that sounds crazy, but I was 287 pounds, 85 pounds, and 87, something like that. So I was almost 40 pounds down in less than 2 weeks, basically. And so I was like, this is great. And I said, if I keep doing this, basically, by the time I go back to work, I'll be in tip-top shape as far as weight is concerned. Well, needless to say, as I got better in my healing journey with my leg and my ankle, I didn't, stick to the alternate day fasting. But I did keep the weight off. Like, I basically didn't gain any more weight, but I didn't lose any more weight either, And then I went back to work. And when I went back to work, all hell broke loose again. I started getting back to my old habits, doing my old routines and things that I used to do all the time that would trigger me to basically be a BITCH and go back to what I was doing. Now, I was back in the gym somewhat. I was back in the gym, so that was cool. But I was gaining the weight back as I'm back in the gym. So I ended up getting all the way back. I mean, not all the way back. I got back, like I said, I'm 305 right now. Well, at one point in January, I had a 7-day fast. And I lost like 20-something pounds in 7 days, 26 pounds. Because I lost back some of the weight. I went back to the 280-something. And then I gained it back again. So now I'm at 305 right now, today. Needless to say, spiritually, we're going through a lot of stuff spiritually. God is doing some things in my life that I'll expound upon later. And this fast that I'm on is not primarily about losing weight. My fast is, mainly about spiritual journey, spiritual journey and financial journey. I'm trying to get my finances back in order, things like that, but also just get some clarity and focus in the things that I'm trying to do in my life. But also, weight loss is a goal of the fast. And the last few days, I've been, starting off in the morning, I'm like, I'm gonna fast this morning, tomorrow morning, and I'm not gonna eat whatever. And then I end up giving in, and I'll eat something healthy, but then I'll have a donut. Foolish. Same old habits that I've been having. Basically, I was giving in to the desires of my flesh, kind of like a lot of men do with the P word, and just saying, forget it. I'm gonna just do what I do. I'll start back over tomorrow, right? Well, that's not gonna cut it, man. I will never ever get the results I want if I keep having to start tomorrow. And today just came to the helm. Like, I'm like, you know what? Like, dude, just stop being a bitch, basically. Excuse my French, God and people out there. I just gotta say it how it is, right? Because that's what I'm acting like. You want God to move in your life. You want to be, a man of value, a man of honor, respect. You want people to see you in a certain light. And yet and still you can't even hold on to your word about the things that you're supposed to do. So it's problematic in itself. Well, I made up in my mind, and literally after I had some Andy's ice cream. If you're from the Midwest or you're from Chicago, you know Andy's ice cream, frozen custard, whatever. I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, foolish, right? I said, all right. I said, it's about to be 5 o'clock. I'm finna have a talk with God, draw a line in the sand, and say, here I am. This is what I'm finna do. So I'm only less than 2 hours in to this proclamation. But I said, okay, one of the things I need to do to hold myself accountable is put it out there in the public eye, right? And so I plan on going live. I had just got through cutting somebody's hair. And I said, you know what? I'm going to just go live and do this every day. Well, this is not live. This is, pre-recorded. But I will be going live. And I'm going to talk to y'all. It's like basically a journal. If nobody listens, cool. It is what it is. If 1 million people listen, great. I do want to help inspire some people by seeing how I'm going through my journey, right? And so my first goal is, before I eat another solid food, I need to lose 50 pounds before I eat any solid food. So basically, my days until then, however long it takes, will consist of me dry fasting some days, or watermelon juice, and green juices. That's it. So those are the only things I'll be drinking. And I might do black coffee on certain days, like maybe on days that I train, or, because I will still be training too. I'm going to still weight train or do calisthenics here and there, so that as I'm losing the weight, I won't be flabby. And plus, I got a lot of muscle. Like, I got a lot of muscle under all this fat. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not tripping on that too much. I don't think I'm gonna be too flabby, and I don't think I'm gonna have a loose skin problem, because I know how to do that. But full disclosure, like I'm a certified ISSA strength and conditioning coach, trainer, and I haven't launched my online coaching business because I'm fat. Period. I'm gonna just give y'all like small background on me. When I was younger, in my 20s, at the best, I was about 8% body fat. One that was the most shredded I had ever been. Then I had kind of stopped doing. That's when I had a weight training class in college, and I was shredded. I was peeled, but I was like 180 pounds maybe at the time. At 6'2", I'm 6'2", 180. You know, great shape, hooping all the time. You know, and I was in tip-top shape for the most part. And like I said, 8% body fat. See, abs. You know, I didn't look big at all. I just was, you know, like NBA build, like Shai Gilgeous, Alexander type of build. You know what I'm saying? But then, you know, got older. Around the time when I had my son is 18 now. So it's back in like 06. I was so skinny. I was about like 169. I was running a lot. I was jogging all the time. Didn't really do a lot of weight training at that time for some reason. I was in and out of weight training, you know. Then I got married in 2010. That's when my weight started picking up a little bit. I probably went from like 195, 200 to about 235, right? And so at that point, I started getting back in the gym. I got back in shape. I got down to like 210, 212, something like that. I wasn't ripped or anything, but I was just a lot more slender, you know, whatever. Then in 2013, I got injured on my job, you know, and I got hit in the head with the backhoe, and that changed everything, right? I was, let's say, I was taking some medication, still having like these seizure episodes, and then the doctor wanted to change my medication, and he put me on a steroid, and he said basically that, you know, hey, you're gonna gain weight. And I was just like, whatever. I didn't think I was gonna. I thought like maybe I might gain 5 or 10 pounds, but no, I probably gained about 30 pounds quickly, and I didn't even realize it. It wasn't like I was eating super bad. I just was gaining weight. I was retaining a lot of water. Who knows? I didn't even realize I was getting that big. So one day I had to go somewhere. I had to put on some clothes, and I couldn't fit none of it. I was like, whoa, I didn't get big. So I stepped on the scale, and I was like, I had gained like 40-something pounds at the time. I was like 270, and I was like, whoa. Well, so since 2014, I've been dealing with this weight gain on and off. You know, it was periods of time where I would lose 40 pounds, get back down to a good weight, put on more muscle so I look better at a higher weight. So I was like 235, looking pretty good at 235, better than I did at 235 years before because it was more muscle. And just fast forward, man, it just was like, you know, a constant struggle. And I just developed these habits of just lack of discipline, man, just lack of discipline. And in my 20s was peak period of discipline in my life. 20s was just like, I was locked in. You know, the only times I got out of sync is when it came to women, you know. And so it's like, I'm 44 years old, and I'm at a crossroads in my life, and I'm trying to get myself back together. And so I'm praying to God for things. It's like God already told me what to do. I'm just not doing it. So I'm dropping these videos. I will be dropping these videos, and I'm doing this every day. I'm gonna drop these videos, stream of consciousness, no editing, and I'm gonna talk my way through these days, tell you how I'm doing, how I'm going. I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all all the way, straight up. Whether I get one view or whether I get millions of views, it don't matter. I'm not even doing this with expectation, but I'll be talking about different things too. We can get into some topics. So if you got, you know, and like I said, I'll be basically it's my video journal to document my process of transformation. And then once I'm at a certain point, once I get peeled, because I want to get peeled, but I want to be like shirt off ready by my birthday, which is July 18th. I want to be able to take my shirt off and be good. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to be doing a lot to make sure that happens, you know? So, like I said, I'm going to document that whole process, spiritual journey, you know, do some Bible study here and there. And I just hope y'all rock with me, straight up. Yeah, Discipline Talks. Should I call it Days of Discipline or Discipline Talks? You let me know. And hit that like button, subscribe. It's your boy, Carl Anthony. We locked in. It's due season. All right? Remember that. Due season. Peace.